How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, I'm going to let y'all know straight up. Tomorrow, California time, 1 p.m. I hope that y'all can see it. I'm doing a live stream, and we're going to go in depth about the Amber Guyger murder trial, that bitch that purposely killed Botham Jean. Now, I have a few things that I'm going to share with the royal family. I'm on top of everything. Y'all don't have to worry. YouTube thinking they disabling me. I'm a fighter, and y'all know it. I appreciate the people that have joined the backup channel. I started out with a little over 1,200, and I checked about a half an hour ago. So far, now I have 1,800 subscribers on the backup channel. I thank the royal family because y'all are doing this. This is word of mouth. I thank Taryn Rain. I thank Nicole View. I thank Lisa Cabrera and everybody in the royal family. We are all actively involved in this, and it just shows me and it shows the royal family how we look out for each other. I immensely thank you. I thank you for all the emails. I cannot get back all to y'all because I need to continue to focus on what y'all need from me. And I will admit that I wasn't getting any sleep. I'm going to make sure my ass gets some sleep because I wasn't even at Bible study today. I was knocked out. So I put a lot of energy into this. And I know I got to make sure I get my adequate rest. I didn't listen to Mr. Santana. I can be hard-headed. I can admit that. So anyhow, my royal family, we're going to go over a few things. And we're going to start, first and foremost, we're going to start with the utmost respect for Botham Jean's mother, Allison Jean. She is already in Dallas preparing for the trial Monday. And I know this has been agonizing for his family in general, his entire family, his friends and co-workers. And they have been very gracious and even set up I think they've set up a foundation for Botham Jean. But we'll get into that another space and time. I'm going to focus where I'm going to focus. So this first video I'm going to play is a refresher video. And then we're going to get in deep into some deeper stuff as well, my royal family.
County Grand Jury has returned an indictment against Amber Guyger for the offense of murder.
The Dallas police officer was in uniform, but off duty last September when she shot and killed 26-year-old Botham Jean, who was unarmed, inside his apartment. Amber Guyger was arrested and charged with manslaughter. She told investigators she mistakenly entered the wrong apartment and thought there was a burglar inside her home.
We prepared this case to the grand jury. We talked to over 300 witnesses, and we did all kind of lab testing in preparation to present a case to the grand jury.
The Dallas County District Attorney explained why the grand jury decided to charge Guyger with murder over manslaughter, saying murder constitutes someone intentionally and knowingly committing a crime, whereas manslaughter involves recklessly doing something.
We're not contending what may have happened, what was in her mind before. Only thing we're saying is at the moment of this shooting, it was an intentional and knowing offense.
In an emotional press conference Friday, Jean's mother said she was satisfied with the grand jury's decision.
Because I truly believe that she inflicted tremendous evil on my son. He didn't deserve it. He was seated in his own apartment. He felt safe in that apartment, and he was violated by her coming in and murdering him.
Guyger's attorney was disappointed but not surprised by the murder indictment, given what he called an outpouring of vindictive emotion in a statement late Friday. This is a terrible tragedy that resulted from a true mistake, he said. We are confident that a dispassionate jury in a fair forum will objectively apply the law to the facts and find Amber not guilty.
I look forward to the next step which is a...
All right, we got a little glitch here in the little system here, huh? A little something going on. Well, let's see if we can get it back going, my royal family. I'm going to go back just a little bit and see if we can get the rest of this.
To the next step, which is a conviction of murder of Amber Guyger, and more so of a penalty, the proper penalty that will cause her to reflect on what she has done and the pain that she has caused.
CNN was granted access to tour Jean's apartment shortly after the shooting. In the chilling video, you see a bullet hole in the wall, indicated by an evidence marking, laundry piled on the couch, and Botham's half-eaten bowl of cereal, with milk still in it. Now, 2 months after the shooting, there are still more questions than answers as the case moves to the courthouse.
This is groundbreaking, but it is also just a start.
A charge of murder carries a sentence of up to life in prison. And Jean's parents filed a separate lawsuit in federal court against Guyger in the city last month, alleging Guyger used excessive force. Kaylee Hartung, CNN.
Okay, my royal family. Let me shut that down. And when I close out my royal family, I'm going to close out, and I have some things that I'm going to say in regards to Botham Jean's mother. So we're going to continue on. All right, my royal family. Now, as we continue on, I'm going to go over to Fox 4, which is this particular media outlet, is in Dallas, Fort Worth.
And everybody's watching across the country.
Absolutely. I think the whole world is watching.
The murder trial of fired police officer Amber Guyger will bring a lot of attention and speculation about what the jury will decide. Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. First at 5:30. The murder case presents unique challenges for prosecutors and for the defense. The state will try to prove Amber Guyger committed murder when she shot her upstairs neighbor, Botham Jean. Her defense team will point to several circumstances in hopes of creating reasonable doubt. Fox 4 Sean Rabb in the newsroom with a preview of the trial and what the jury will likely want to learn during testimony. Sean.
Clarice, no one denying Amber Guyger shot and killed what she perceived to be a threat. But the question for jurors will be, is what she did considered murder? Cell phone video captured off-duty in uniform Dallas police officer Amber Guyger pacing on the balcony of Southside Flats Apartments after shooting and killing Botham Jean September 6, 2018. Guyger told police she went to the wrong apartment, Botham Jean's on the 4th floor, thinking she was at her 3rd floor apartment and that he was an intruder.
You know, I think the critical thing is going to be the time period between Amber Guyger getting out of her vehicle and making the 911 phone call.
The question is why, under what circumstances, and how did she come to shoot?
Brad Lawler works in the Dallas County Public Defender's Office. Former prosecutor Russell Wilson is in private practice as a criminal defense attorney. Neither involved in Guyger's defense. Both agree what happened at the door of the apartment will be critical.
I think there's going to be a focus on whether or not there's any threats that are actually made to her. Is it just the presence of a person alone in the apartment that can cause you to shoot them, or would it have to be the person actually doing something to you? So I think that's going to be a big area of focus.
Guyger was arrested on a manslaughter charge, later fired, indicted by a grand jury on the higher charge of murder. She will enter a plea of not guilty as the trial starts, her attorneys likely arguing what happened, a tragic mistake of fact.
What it basically says is if a person forms a reasonable belief and the belief, however, is mistaken, then that excuses the criminal conduct.
Guyger, like every defendant, has a right not to testify, but both Lawler and Wilson expect she will.
It's very likely that she would testify. In a case of this nature, even though jurors are told that they're not supposed to hold it against you if you don't testify, a lot of times they do.
What she perceived at the moment is very important, and the law is going to require that the jury, in essence, stand in the shoes of the defendant, and view everything from her viewpoint.
So the trial expected to run at least 2 weeks with news crews from as far away as Botham Jean's homeland, the island nation of St. Lucia. Court TV also will broadcast, just to give you an idea of the great interest in this particular case. We'll stream proceedings on our station Facebook page. Myself, along with Allison Harris, will bring reports each day from the Frank Crowley courthouse.
Okay, my radio family, that is what I was going to get into. I had did my deeper research, and we didn't know if this was going to be televised or not because they haven't mentioned it until now. And so I'm going to put a link to Fox 4 News that they will be live streaming this case. Also on Court TV, and they iffy. They kind of funny style. So don't hold your fucking breath when it comes to them. They also do have Court TV on YouTube. They might, because they funny, they subject to just show you just clips of this trial. What I will ask the royal family, if y'all find out possibly there's other outlets that are going to show this trial in entirety, please share it with the royal family. And it's good that people from Botham's country is coming. Sometimes the restrictions that they have overseas is a little bit different. I can't find that. I will continue to look. Y'all already know, so far I have, and it's been many people in the royal family that have reported this case, but on my main channel, I think I probably put over 20 videos about this. The main channel is coming whenever it comes, but that ain't gonna stop me. Ain't no need to worry. It's good too, because I can build up more subscribers over here. But what I will do is once I get my main channel back, I will put every video that I have put on this channel over on the main channel. But we're going to continue on with this. So the majority of my energy will be on this case, depending on, because I do videos based on how I feel. I don't plan my videos. This is where my energy is. I will be scrutinizing this case from top to bottom. And again, tomorrow, 1 p.m. California time, I want the royal family to be on board for the live stream that I'm going to have There we go, right there. Let me click it on. Amber Guyger murder trial, a deeper look. Voice what you see. I want all of y'all's opinion, whatever you have, because like I said, we can't do this by ourselves. We collectively need the royal family. The input been sweet. The things that people have sent me and emailed me and everything. And I'm going to even point out a question that I had asked when I had pointed out to y'all that I had overlooked something that I was not. Let me see here. Let me get that right. That I was not aware of. Let me go to this one, and I can get to where I can get where I need to get to. So I had, pointed out that she's a special type of police officer, and she is well known in the police force, because they said they got a little over 3,000 in their force, but she's a part of a very special team, and it's only 10 of them, and she was picked out, and she's the sole woman of this particular special, critical, elite police force. And so far, there it is right there. I got a little over 1,800. So within the last 28 days, 490 subs joined. I appreciate that, my royal family. I really do. We are serious about some things here, and I'm going to get into something that y'all don't often see. We can look at all of our comments behind the scenes, and I want to point out something, because I was asking the question about, when I did that last video about her being a part of that, why would they pick her? And somebody in here answered the question. There it is, right here, and I'm going to read it to the royal family. So, be strong. They chose her to be a part of an elite group. That means her abilities to observe her surroundings and other abilities were above average. And that means she can't say she wasn't aware of her surroundings. This kills her. I thought it was my apartment argument. On the other point, this Roberts person is instigating, and now they are focused on the attorney for Botham Jean's family. Yeah, Lee, talking about Lee Merritt. Watching Lee's Twitter account sounds like Roberts wants Lee targeted. Prayers for both are needed for protection. Yes, and we're going to also keep Botham's family in prayer. As I close this out, my royal family, is there anything else I need to cover? Let me just think. What might come in later, but I want to focus on Botham's Queen Mother. I have the utmost respect for Allison. She is not a forgiving person. And naturally, because I always talk about the nature of many things, naturally, anybody that would kill somebody in your family, let alone the child that grew in you and you gave birth to, you're supposed to just chuck it up as it was such a tragic mistake. Like you mistakenly dropped a glass cup on the ground and it broke. You can't put that back together. It shows you how the enemy, let's just chuck it up like that. It was just a big mistake. Oops, that type of thing. And she said something really very clear, that she's the devil herself. These pictures that we see, I look away because I don't look in her eyes. I can feel the evil. And I don't know who put it up, but the last few photos we have seen of her, now, and I have seen this in my lifetime, the true essence, the core of a human being that is rotten to the motherfucking core, eventually who and what they is manifests. And it's like you seen a person that you be like, damn, they looks have drastically changed. They ain't had no cosmetic surgery or anything. They looks literally changed. And I'll tell you something briefly about that. One of my close cousins was the main witness in a murder case. And it was a guy that she dated that was, I think his family is from the Fuji Islands or whatever. And he killed in Hayward, California, the woman that gave birth to his child. And also she was pregnant too as well. And I have been around this person. I've been around him more than once. And I didn't get to see it, but my cousin said when she had to go to trial, she said she didn't even recognize the guy. His whole appearance changed. His nose changed. She said his nose became a hook nose. She almost didn't recognize him. It shook her up. And I said to her, that's who he really is to the core. And I've been pointing out, and I did point out a picture that I seen, because first I didn't want to be overzealous, that Amber's, I finally got to see some worry on her face. And then I had pointed out a few days ago, now we're really getting to see what she really is. She's, they didn't try to do a makeup over this bitch and all of that. And when I was showing that footage to you, my royal family, where she get in the elevator, I seen like some type of bruising across her forehead, and it's nothing that they can do. There's no makeup, no nothing. The divine hand is on her ass. This is going to eat her up. And I've been very, very clear during this entire trial and for the duration of her life. She gets no peace. She gets very little sleep. And anything that I can think of that will cause her great distress will be on her in this life and then when she cross over. This bitch purposely murdered our Queen Mother's child. And Allison, the royal family is keeping your family in prayer. And I pray that the angels will be before you, behind you, above you, below you, and fully keep your family protected and surrounded wherever you may step. And I do notice, my queen, that the glasses that you have on is reflecting the royal colors. Isn't that amazing, my royal family? That I try my best to look and observe as much as I can. That's why I say continue to look at everything with your spiritual eyes. Listen with your spiritual ears, your whole embodiment, my royal family. And we have that ability. We are truly chosen. And the enemy ain't gonna trick us and cast doubt in our psyche. This woman ain't dumb, and I like the way she speak. I'm glad that she comes from a different region where they have not had to have to deal with racism and any type of isms on a day-to-day basis. So we have to understand that they have had a different upbringing, and their environment and all of that is quite different. So they have different views. I've heard some people be very critical of them about things, and I have too as well. But Botham Jean's mother, you're not going to hear her talk about what she forgive and all of that. They love throwing the mic up in her face. And they're not going to put that in her face, because she going to speak truly how she feel. Truly, truly, truly. And so I pray, Allison, or Miss Jean, excuse me, that You are well rested. You are well hydrated. You are very clear in your thoughts. I know this is not easy. I pray that your health remains intact in everything. I really, really do. Because it hurts me deeply that you would have to suffer for this. And so another thing that I wanted to bring out, my royal family, that I will put a link to, some of y'all know, many of y'all know, that me and Lisa Cabrera have a channel called Cabrera Santana. And me and Lisa interviewed the main witness. Let me put that there so people can visually see it as I speak. The main witness, let's put up another one, of the Botham Jean, of this murder. She was the one that took the time to film Amber Guyger put on an Academy Award performance. So let's see here. Let me type this in. Oh, there it is. It popped right up. Thank you, Father. So I will also make sure that the link is there. Please join this channel, Cabrera Santana, Facts and Fire. And we had interviewed Bonnie, Life After Witnessing the Botham Jean Murder. Bonnie is also writing a book too as well. And some people haven't heard this interview. I will put the link to this interview. I will put that on the top. So anybody want to listen to this, Bonnie tells some very interesting things. And we did the video under an hour. You know, some people string shit out. Under an hour. You'd be amazed what we found out under an hour. So I thank you, Bonnie, for having the strength and the fortitude to do what you have done, my royal queen. You can tell that she exudes truthfulness. And I don't want the royal family to not lose sight, because this has happened to us more than once, what I'm going to say. The enemy is going to pull out whatever they can pull out, unquote, Bonnie's dirty laundry, and make her look like she is nothing more than a mere criminal. And she was concerned about that. And when we found out what it was laughable. But they put these things out to cast doubt purposely in the royal family's psyche. So they're going to do that. This is going to be nasty. They're going to sling mud, and this is what they're going to do. They're going to do this. So we will also keep Bonnie in prayer, and also I pray that the angels will continue to protect Bonnie because of her doing the unquote right thing. They fired her from her job at a pharmaceutical company. She did excellent in her job. They then in-house Instagram went out of their way to take down her Instagram, and she had her own online business. I think she had two that she was successful in, and they took it down. So they're gonna go out of their way to help them. That's why these social media companies, they exercise their isms too, because we know in the world of social media, the number one people that is fucked over is the royal family. So I'm going to point that out, because I know folks, when they put her on the stand and start talking about the mistakes like all of us have made, that they want to make her look like she's the biggest criminal in the world. And I know some of us are going to be swayed, just like when I had to clear up all that shit with with Jazzy Rowe, who was poisoned by a white bitch. And then people like Tariq Nasheed talk bad about Jazzy Rowe, says she wasn't nothing more than a mere mini coon. And I was very disappointed in Tariq Nasheed because he knows how the courts work. And these white folks put out that she went to court on the day of sentencing and supported her. And he knows that you have to go to court on that day. That child and her attorney put in writing what she wanted to happen to the person that damn near killed her. And a lot of people in the black community believe that shit. And we know how this system works. The enemy can say one thing and we go buck wild. Just like when Dirty Kitchen's ass put Lisa's picture up, and they talking about Lisa is a white woman, and it divided the community. So I don't want nobody coming over here because the enemy then casted doubt in your head about something. I will get rid of your ass. I'm that passionate about stuff. You act like you know about the enemy, but the enemy can tell you something and you won't even question it. And you have to ask yourself, why would they come to us directly and do shit like that? We're going to have to get it together. That's why I keep saying there's going to be many great divides as we get closer and closer to the kingdom. Because some of us talk that good shit, but then when the enemy tell you something, you believe the enemy wholeheartedly. The way the enemy thinks, they believe nothing. I mean, nothing that we say. And that's how I was raised. And I thank my father. I thank my father for that. Because the way my father raised me, he told me all of them, not some, all of them are not to be trusted. All of them. He told me that I was superior over them. I was powerful over them. See, I was raised real different. The shit that they telling their kids, all of them is dumb. All of them is uncouth. All of them is beneath me. He told me I come from royal stock. They are peasants. And they had a short period they didn't have foothold, and some of ours believe anything that the enemy tell them. That's why I say I have been affected by the system. Well, I really should say we, but I ain't been so damn affected that I believe what the fuck come out of their mouth. They can be telling the gospel truth, and I will not acknowledge it. So my real family, I'm ranting and I'm raving because I'm passionate. That's just who I am. And I look forward tomorrow at 1 p.m. California time. We're gonna have a live stream, and I'm not going to. Usually, I'm real stickler for time, and usually I'll do my hangouts either 2 to 3 hours, whatever the day of the week that it falls. I don't know how long we're gonna go on this. I expect that it's gonna go for a minute because Monday, let the motherfucking games begin. Yes, my royal family. And ultimately, the decision will, our Father Yah or Yahweh will decide. But one thing that I do know, my royal family, that either way it go, you can't get around our Father. He has his own set of laws that are not penciled in and out to fit the narrative. This is how the enemy gets down. This is the trial of the century, like many. I've always said that way before I got on YouTube. There's always a trial of the century. And 9 times out of 10, it's dealing with the continuous chronic issues that the royal family have to deal with the enemy. We are in a war, and the war that we are in is multi-layer. So it'll be real interesting to see as we go on with this trial, who gonna sit up and believe the lies that the enemy and the enemy supporters feed the royal family. We're going to see what some of us really is made of. And the question that you have, that as I close out, that I always ask myself, why is it that they would cast doubt and feed this to our community? Because we are that special. See, subconsciously, they are speaking and voicing what bothers them. Now, they may want not to acknowledge, they may not even be aware of it, but Yah orchestrate things in the way he do. And he is pointing out when the enemy do what the enemy do on a subconscious level, he's pointing out who is truly chosen and what bothers them, losing power. It's over with, Esau. And your supporters, you go where they go because you want to continue to uphold white supremacy. White supremacy is dead. All of this is a charade. And it is important for the royal family not to feed into it, to give it life. Let it completely die. Fuck being fair. We see what fair have brought us. Study what happened in Haiti. They whooped their asses. And then the ones that lived, they helped them repair their boat. They fed them, clothed them, put them back on the motherfucking boat, and they came back and put foot in their ass. That is why the Haitians are living in the conditions that they lived in, because they were not obedient. When he tell us to do something, wipe them all out. Every man, woman, and child. You hear what I'm saying? Every man, woman, and child. You're going to have to start learning how to separate your feelings. Because we compassionate people. We're caring people. But there's a reason for everything. So that's why they lived the way that they lived, because they was not obedient. When are we going to get obedient? I'm not willing to go through this shit again. Now that's when I will tell on your ass. When our Father clearly tell us to do something, execute it. Don't leave nobody to breathe. Because when you get your opportunity, don't give it life. Cut it right off the neck. And be thorough in what you do. Be clear in your intentions. So my royal family, let me get off because I could go on and on and on. Render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.